Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Oh, wie geht's? Wie geht's? I think I said that right. Or guten. No, it's not the guten. No, something like that. I'm a little rusty on my German.
Well, I'm so happy to be back from EWA. I mean, I had a ball there. I love my time in Germany. I love when I can get there, and I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to go there. So, yeah, we are back in the USS. I'm sorry, USA.
There you go.
Almost
Sometimes it feels like that.
a Freudian thing there, I guess. But yeah, we had an amazing time at EWA, and before we get to our guest, Pat, I think we've got a little bit of housekeeping to do, and we got to honor the people who make this all possible. So let's take a moment and check in with our sponsors. Hello, fans. We're taking a brief moment to recognize and show our appreciation for the incredible support of our sponsors. Their commitment not only fuels our content, but also ensures we can bring you the very best of the airgun world. Firstly, a huge shout out to Southern Precision Air Weapons. Ken is a master of hard-hitting airgun tunes that deliver unrivaled accuracy. Moving on, we extend our gratitude to High Pressure Pneumatics. Be sure to check out what Tom has going on at his store in Michigan and online as well. Let's not forget the remarkable contribution of DonnyFL. Their innovations in suppressors have revolutionized the experience in the field, combining stealth with performance. A special thanks to GX Compressors as well for their robust and efficient compressors that are an absolute game changer in the pneumatic technology and convenience. Be sure to check out Scout Airguns for the Epic and the all-new Evo. JSB and Predator International for the finest in airgun projectiles. Affordable, well-made, and fun airgun products from Umarex Airguns. And lastly, we express our sincere appreciation for Sabre Tactical. Their tactical gear is not only about strength and durability, it's about taking your airgun experience to the next level. We proudly stand alongside these titans of the airgun industry and invite you, our valued listeners, to explore their outstanding offerings. Supporting our sponsors is directly supporting the Airgun Geeks, enabling us to continue delivering you the content you love and trust. Thank you for being the most essential part of our journey. Your engagement and support make all of this possible. Until next time, stay tuned and keep supporting those who make the Airgun Geeks a reality. Well, there we go, Pat.
That looks good, Bill. You did a good job on that.
Well, thank you very much. I take our sponsorship very seriously, and we've recently added some new sponsors, which I think we'll take the opportunity to invite our audience to participate here a little bit, and maybe get them to email us here at the Airgun Geeks and tell us who our new sponsors are with this episode. See if anybody's paying attention, and can call them out. But yeah, we just have got so much going on in 2024. We've got all new sponsors. We've got, if we get half of the guests that have committed to being on the Airgun Geeks podcast in 2024, Pat, we will be fortunate beyond reasonable expectations. The guys and ladies who have signed up to be part of the Airgun Geeks experience for 2024, wow, that's all I can say.
I can't wait. And we were just talking about this not too long ago. In fact, on the last podcast, where the podcast came from and where it's grown to, the heights and leaps and bounds. I mean, like you go into Germany to Iowa. I mean, that was remarkable in itself. And the relationships that have sprung from that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But it's exciting times, and like always, we appreciate everyone watching and listening. Make sure that you subscribe. That's always a key thing, which the YouTube channel, I don't know if you've seen, Bill, lately, since through your travels, has grown tremendously.
You're very near 350 subs on your YouTube channel, and that is just crazy growth. And if your editor for your YouTube content would get off his butt and get some content posted, we could continue that growth, in the future, which I will do. But as you know, Pat, getting back from Iowa, combating some really weird lighting issues between, as you may know, the European Union uses 50 hertz standard for their product. And of course, I show up there, the giant American Yankee walking around with this camera all set up for 60 hertz power. So I got some irritating strobing from the lights at the event center. I was fine if they were LED lights, but it's the ones that were halogen that were AC power that were giving me fits. But I did what I could to fix the videos to make them look good, but it does take a fair bit of extra work here in the editing chair to get that stuff out. But I'm whining. I need a raise, Pat.
Well, it's a learning curve.
It is.
You were all excited about everything, and that is a new thing. It's like back in the day when I started this, we had to learn sub 12 foot-pounds of energy, and it's like, okay, we got to learn about that and have some conversations. And we had a lot of people from Europe email us back then and say, look at this and look at that, and learned all about that stuff. So growing pains, that's what I'm going to say. It's growing pains.
Yep. Fun story on that topic, Pat. While I was at Iowa, I had some very interested fans actually run me down. I was moving through the crowd. I was trying to get back to my booth where, they were the ones that were paying my tab while I was there in Germany. So I needed to get back to work. And these guys are like, hey, geek, hey, you. and flagged me down, and we stopped and talked, and we're not going to divulge what that conversation was about yet because nothing is concrete. But we were invited to another event in Europe this coming year, and we don't have any agreement yet or anything, so I don't want to talk about it in detail. But for us to get flagged and say, hey, we want you to come and cover our event for us, and bring the drone and bring all your toys. And, that was really, really cool.
That was exciting that we got chased down now.
we even talked about potentially getting a satellite internet link. Elon makes that very reasonable now with Starlink. And, a lot of these events happen out in rural areas, and there isn't much in the way of high-speed internet, but we think we could possibly pull off some live coverage of events like that. If the people hosting the event can get it set up with a Starlink device that we can get connected to, we've got the tools. I mean, this whole StreamYard world that we're recording in now is quite portable, and as long as we get internet, we can produce. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I mean, if you don't know what StreamYard is, you guys should look it up. We can get on your social medias and be live, take live questions while an event's going on. So it's like TV.
Yeah.
With the Airgun Geeks. The Airgun Geeks TV channel. Bill, it was just created right here. You just did it.
There
Elon, you want to donate a Starlink system? That would be great.
Yeah. Elon, lend us some of your satellite time too. That would be really good.
Why not throw a Tesla involved? Why not?
Hey, I'm not going to complain. Although I got to admit, I kind of think the Tesla pickup truck is not my cup of tea visually. I was really hoping, and in fact, I had a guy that worked for me a couple of years ago when they first released some images of the Tesla pickup, and I said, man, that thing is not the most attractive truck.
No.
For somebody who likes trucks. I mean, I love trucks. But honestly, if I was going to dump that kind of money on an EV truck, it would be a Rivian at this point. I just think they're better looking, more utilitarian.
Correct.
I appreciate the stainless body. I do. It looks extremely durable. His sort of bulletproof glass is pretty
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, it's just visual. It doesn't do it for me. I'm sure it does it for some people. It's a very polarizing design, but anyway.
I agree. Yeah. But so while in Germany, besides learning Sprechen Sie Deutsch, I heard you met some interesting people like Air Arms and this new brand that they got. I thought was pretty cool. On one of your little things that will be coming up soon, not to give it all away, but I found that to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I got to speak with Claire, and I've already released a video on Instagram as a reel, where Claire wanted the opportunity to. There's been some naysayers about their changing of the brand for Air Arms, and honestly, this gal is a fireball, and she's got a very clear vision for where she wants that company to go, and just shut up, sit down, enjoy the ride. That's my advice. She's got big things in mind for expanding her business, for growing her business, and she is absolutely unleashed at this point. So I had a lovely conversation with Claire, and potentially she could be one of our guests coming up here on the podcast shortly. So that would be very exciting to get some more European feel here. And while we're on that topic, Pat, I had a chance to talk with probably one of the highest profile Europeans in the airgun space while I was at IWA. And I've always been a fan of his channel. And he and I have talked at least half a dozen airgun events over the years. We've crossed paths, and this was unique for me, and it was the first time that I got a chance to sit down and talk with the one and only Giles Barry, the host of the Airgun Gear Show. And what a delightful conversation I had with him. And if you're ready, Pat, we can get ready to roll that footage here shortly. You got anything else you want to add? Oh, you know what we got to do? We got to talk about Ballistol.
Yes, we do. We got to lube it up before we can insert the video.
Yes, we do. That is true. Let's make that happen here. So Ballistol has offered to support the Airgun Geeks by providing some Ballistol starter kits. So it's kind of like the crack dealers model, where you give a little bit away, and then all of a sudden you got a bunch of customers for life. And Ballistol is that kind of product where you use it once and you're like, oh my gosh, where has this been all my life? It literally does everything. You can use it as a leather dressing on wood. It's great for metal maintenance and protection, for cleaning air guns. It really is an outstanding product. And they have been kind enough to extend to our Airgun Geek fan base a giveaway where they're going to give away 5 kits. And all you have to do is email the Airgun Geeks. You can email us at airgungeeks@gmail.com and put in their Ballistol. We some guys have had some fun with this in their entries. The one guy said Ballistol, it's not just for guns. You can use it as cologne too.
Oh, well, I do. Why not?
Well, I don't exactly use that for my cologne, but hey, to each his own. Who am I to judge? But yeah, get yourself some Ballistol, get yourself in the running here, and also as a function of joining this contest, you'll also become an official member of the Airgun Geeks email list as well, where we can send you out what's going on behind the scenes, what's coming up, and important things that you might need to know coming from the airgun industry.
Yep. So with that, make sure you put your full name and your address, and we will put you in the running for a Ballistol kit.
Also, continental U.S. only, ladies and gentlemen.
Very true.
Actually, no, I think they are shipping to Hawaii and Alaska. So I take that back. Just to make sure
Yes, we did verify that. That is correct. Yes.
It is in the US. So
US only.
Yeah, US only for the Ballistall giveaway. We will ask them if they have an interest in doing an international one. I got to go to the Ballistall booth at IWA, and it was fun. I don't know that there were maybe 2 English speaking people there. There were some hardcore Germans there for sure, but it was a hoot to see their display.
Yes. Yeah, and pretty much that's, and if you want stickers, you can, still got that going on with the stickers and stuff. And I think we're going to throw stickers out anyways with your address since you're on the email list.
Yes.
Yep.
Let me get that information up here on the screen for who people should be voting for, Pat. I mean,
correct.
We want to make sure they're not confused, right?
Yep, most definitely. Yes,
Yeah.
We don't want them confused that they're only voting for me or Bonnie. Yeah.
No. I'm kidding. There's Bonnie.
So if you're voting for Bonnie, you just go to airgungeeks@gmail.com, put in stickers, and that will go towards Bonnie. And if you want to vote for Bill, you will just go to Airgun Geeks plus Bill, the +sign plus Bill @gmail.com. And if you want to vote for me, that would be Airgun Geeks plus Patrick @gmail.com. And what we'll do is we'll send you out a couple stickers, and you can proudly put them out to spread the information about the podcast and how much you love it and love your favorite host. So
very good. Well, I think we need to get to our video because it's a little chunky, and I want to encourage you, watch it to the end because there's we have the exclusive announcement on some really interesting developments with Airgun 101 that you're definitely going to want to check out.
Most definitely. Very excited.
The pearl is in the river.
Did PJ send you?
He did.
Oh, there we go. That works. It means someone to something. It means something to someone, doesn't it? I phrased that the wrong way. There we go. Nice to see you.
Giles, it's a pleasure to finally get you on the Airgun Geeks podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
We have crossed paths before, but we've always been so busy doing our own things that we never got a chance to connect.
Yes.
And I want to tell you that you have been a large part of my journey in the airgun world.
Okay.
Because I have tuned into probably every video you've done because they're so enjoyable. You bring an element of personality and fun and humor to the airgun world that a lot of us in the airgun world really appreciate. So thank you.
I'm very grateful for you watching. It's clearly you watching many, many times that generates the view count. So thank you for that. And genuinely thank you to everyone out there that ever watches my videos. If I can entertain you and make you smile, that makes me smile, and that's it. There we go. So no, thank you for watching. Right, thank you very much.
Now, did you start your career as like a court jester, or how did you arrive in this?
Well, I mean, I would say from the moment I was born, my mother sort of laughed at me. So I mean, that's a different story altogether. No, I just genuinely, I saw some videos out there years ago, and I was kind of like, okay, they're great, they're informative, but I've got a sense of humor, and it goes a little too far sometimes. But I just like to have fun with it, and I like to have fun with it. I'm trying not to talk too much because once I get going, I chitter chatter. But
it's okay. You know, this is a podcast, right?
Is that what it is? Okay. Is that what you want me to do? Okay.
Talk.
Yes. No, I like to, I have many, many friends in the industry and around and about, and I like to have fun with that sometimes. And I like to have a bit of humor with that, and they all like to get involved. I love, like I said, the people in the industry, the shooters themselves. Yeah. And just making videos is just fun. It's just fun. And when you put that video out and you watch that view count go up and people send you little messages and like, I really enjoyed that. Makes makes the weeks of effort all worth it.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you know, your content doesn't come without a large investment of time on your part. So when you say weeks of effort leading up to that, you really mean that.
I genuinely, it is, yeah.
You can see from the quality of the product that there's planning there. You've written that, or you've at least got it planned out in your head.
Absolutely. Everyone has their own different methods, and everyone has their own styles.
Sure.
So some of the hunting style, some of the review style, and they all do it their own way. But no, genuinely, when I make a video, it does take me around 2 or 3 weeks. It's an all day, everyday thing. Sometimes I do have a little bit of help. So I have Ben that is involved in the 101 platform and things, and he will come along and sometimes he will film some scenes, but 90% of it is me with a camera. And yes, I sit at night and these crazy ideas come up in my head. How do I put a twist on this? How do I put a twist on that? And that's what happens. It's just,
you think to yourself, no one else would let me do this, but YouTube would.
yeah. YouTube is a little bit more coy. Sometimes you do have to be a little bit careful nowadays.
I hear you.
But no, I try and keep it reasonably clean. There has been different things in different videos in times gone past that have needed blanking out. But no, I just have these zany ideas and I like to go with them, and I'll sometimes make a bit of fun of the product, make a bit of fun of the manufacturer, but they all laugh, and no matter who's in it, it's just a bit of fun, and you gotta have a bit of fun. We can't be too serious in life, can we? So, and I
would say that even though you go to that length to bring that creativity and that lighter side to the airgun space, the quality of the information that you convey is really good.
I'll be honest, I get that information from either testing the product,
sure,
or actually learning from what I get from other people.
Sure.
So yes, I try and do it. I'm not right all the time. Let's be honest. I've said some things that are wrong and bits and pieces, but I just try and, yes, just give over as best you can. But I do learn, and there are other YouTubers out there that I watch and I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, that's how that works. And so it's not just, you don't get it all yourself. I still learn every day, and I will watch a video and go, oh, I didn't know that. And that's how you know. So yes, we all do it. Hopefully the information is correct. But it's not just on me. There's a load of guys out there that I learn from. Yeah.
So I've noticed in a lot of your videos, you've got a range at home.
Yes.
And it looks like that might be in a more agricultural area.
Okay.
In England. So I lived in England in 2012. I lived in Scotland.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your area and what's going on there. And is Giles really a farmer that does
Farmer Giles?
What's going on?
Yeah, they got an old British name. So no, basically, I've changed locations a couple of times during the time, and I was down a farm more to begin with. However, what happened there really is that farm was a working farm. So it was a cattle farm, it was a beef farm, but he also had.
Well, they frowned on you shooting cows.
No, yeah, well, the cows weren't too happy either. Let's be honest. But no, never shoot a cow. Let's be quite clear.
Yeah.
But what happened?
Not a suggestion.
No, it's not. It's absolutely not. So, but what it was is, I started to film so much, and I'm friends with the farmer chap there, and I'm filming so much that he's actually having to stop work to let me film. And we got on really well as friends, and you just get to the point where it's kind of like, I would go down to film and he needs to do some welding on the tractor. He can't weld because I want to talk to the camera. And you do kind of realize in the end that this is going a little bit further than just the odd YouTube video. So then you move out into the fields. It's England, so you get the weather. to the weather.
Does it rain there?
Does it rain there? And does the wind blow? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you get that.
They don't call it Old Blighty for nothing.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we are paranoid about the weather. We look at the weather every night and every morning so we know what we can do. So you then go out into the fields. The weather kind of beats you. Fortunate enough to have bought many years ago a fixer-upper house, which was a derelict house, which we then redid. And that came with a little plot of land around it. So I now have a couple of sort of 50-yard ranges there, which I'm very lucky with. But you do have to give over a bit of the garden for it. And the wife is very accommodating with that. And then I do have, obviously I have permissions in different areas where I go and shoot and film as well. So yes, it's around the house a little bit, a couple of local permissions. And that's kind of how it's developed. And I still pop down to the farm from time to time. It is just, I was interfering with farm life, and that's not fair on the farmer.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
because they've got to move to the speed of the animal. They've got to respond to things when they
absolutely. That is the thing, is that, you know, if he needs to bring the cattle through the yard or stuff like that, the fact that I've set up a mini range and I'm shooting a BB pistol there, that you know, it might have taken me an hour to set up to get the one shot. You know, the cattle have to come through, and you know, I was drinking an awful lot of his coffee and taking an awful lot of his time.
He gave you coffee?
He used to give me coffee and biscuits. Yeah.
I want to meet this man.
And he had a super other half that used to give me cake and things like that. But genuinely, it just got to the point where I'm in the way of the farm.
Yeah.
So I just
buggered off and went and did your own thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's kind of the way. And he still would have me back down now. And you know, that's not changed. It's just, I don't like people being in the way. So, yeah.
So now you bought this fixer-upper, you make your wife work on the house.
Yeah.
While you go out and play with air guns.
Something like that. We had a small building team that helped us to begin with, but I did a lot of it. And, you know, I built a little studio there and things like that. Nice. So we were lucky with what we found. And yes, she's very understanding.
So walk our Airgun geeks through the relationship between Giles and Airgun 101, which is the lovely vest that you've got on today.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
So what happened was, I don't know if you guys remember, around 2018, 17, 18, I'm not very good with years and dates.
Airgun Geddon, I think
it's something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of us got deleted. And it was a scary time, because you got 10 years of work. And when I say work, I mean just 10 years of video content that you've made.
And all of a sudden, blink, it's
just gone. Someone's just decided, we don't like you no more, and you're gone. And it's not for a commercial reason. You just feel personally attacked.
Sure.
And there was a lot of guys around the world that were suffering the same thing. Some guys didn't even get their channels back. And I spoke to a few of the YouTube creators out there, like Matt Dubber and Ted and people like that. And we said, look, you know, what are we going to do? We can't keep accepting this. This is bad. So I said, right, I'm going to start my own platform. And literally, I went online and I bought the name Airgun101.com, and I got some help and started this video platform off. And everything has been a learning curve. I couldn't do a video platform to start with, had no idea. And so what happens now is we have a select amount of creators on there, and those creators we actually stream the footage. So we stream their videos. It doesn't come from YouTube. It actually streams from our servers. And we've got our connections are, we have a business team in New York, India, and in the UK, helping us keeping this thing going. It's massive, and it costs me so much money every month. It doesn't pay for itself, let's be quite clear.
Oh, wow.
But I'm so passionate that we are not being switched off again. We've done nothing wrong. if someone in a corporate office somewhere just says, hey, you know, a big advertiser doesn't like airgun videos this month, you're all gone. I'm not putting up with that. We need to have somewhere to go. So that's simply what it is. And we have some fantastic sponsors that help us with it. So we have like Pyramid Air, Utah Airguns, and then you have people like DonnyFL and Saber Tactical that help keep it running. But it's not a profitable business. It's not something that sits there and makes me, you know, they help cover the bills. But yeah, it's just we need somewhere to go just in case.
So Airgun 101 is really a safe haven for airgun video content.
Yes.
That the social media moguls can't touch.
Absolutely.
And that is fantastic.
It is
for all of it.
It is pure. It is owned by me.
Mm-hmm.
There are many rumors out there about who owns Airgun 101. And it is me. It's me. And there are guys out there, and I'll look at the camera and say, look, I know so many of you want to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. And I can tell you right now that this week we're testing a login feature where people can go in and put their content on there themselves. We are doing it. I know it's all about money. So there is going to be the potential for people to be able to put their own videos on there.
Well, I want to tell you that both Pat and I would love the opportunity one day to appear on Airgun 101.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either be Target Forge or Airgun Geeks or whatever combination you want. We would be on.
So I'm not. Don't take this as this is going to happen next week.
Nope.
Because actually, it's what YouTube's got it down to an art, but they've got millions of pounds and they've got Google behind them. Let's be honest.
I got a whole alphabet behind them.
That's the one.
Right.
Well done. Yeah, you know it. So, and they are a business predominantly. So, you know, if there was no advertising, there'd be no YouTube.
Right.
So don't take it as absolute 100% that I'm going to say, hey, we're going to be handing out logins next week. And you will still have to speak to us and say, hey, I've got some content. I'd like to put it on there. And really for us, it's kind of like, if you're just doing a little bit of backyard footage just to share between you and your friends, it's a financial thing. So we might say, well, look, okay, that's great, but maybe leave that on YouTube. But for people that are really, you know, giving out information like yourselves, they have a genuine good following that is like, you know, people listen to these guys. They are giving good information, and the general shooters out there can learn from these guys, and they're doing everything right and stuff like that. That's kind of that's what we're going to do, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
So it's I can't share people's backyard stuff too much, but if you've got information to give out then we need you. So, but please watch this space. There we go.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that explanation.
And no one else knew that up until now. So no one else knows that we're testing that.
Exclusive.
So you do actually have an exclusive
on the Airgun Geek.
Yeah, you do actually. No one else knows that. And if we don't actually then get that sorted in the next couple of months, we are going to be in real trouble, aren't we?
Well, you know, our 420 viewers will be really upset. I'm kidding.
No. But hey, listen, right? I'm gonna get started. I'm not gonna try and get on a high horse here. Right? People come to me and they're like, "Oh, you've got this channel, and you know, you don't worry about us small YouTubers and all that sort of thing." No, absolutely, that's wrong. And people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, I got 100 views on a video and stuff like that." Fabulous. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you get 5 viewers or 100 or you get 500,000. Okay, those people have listened to you, and they've listened to you and they've taken in what you've said. And so it doesn't matter whether you are talking to an audience of 10 subscribers or 500,000. You got 10 people there that want to listen to what you're saying. You are important.
Yep.
Okay. So what content you put out is super important. You've got an audience, and do not worry about your viewing figures. Just, even if you've got 5 people enjoying it, you got 5 people enjoying it. And as long as you enjoy it, it's fabulous.
I mean, I can honestly say that we are the largest podcast in the airgun space. We reach more people through the audio versions, the video versions, all of that.
Yeah.
We're feeding the video version out on 2 different channels. My channel, which is Target Forge, and then we created an Airgun Geeks channel as well. But as you know from YouTube, it takes a little while to get the attention of the algorithm and get that propagate. So, but with the growth that we've seen, I learned a little game with YouTube that you can use the shorts to pull the rest of the carriage along.
Got you.
And accelerate it.
Okay.
I didn't want to do that because I really believe the short was just a dopamine pump. It's people just trying to get the quick fix and then move on.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that.
No.
But it totally opened up our demographic.
Yes.
Now we've got, instead of males from 40 to 75 years old, we actually have women.
Yeah, there's a woman.
And much younger viewers. So, you know, the shorts did benefit us that way. And also exponentially increased our growth.
Yes.
So the rate of growth that we've experienced on both channels has been monumental.
But what I would say to you, and again, like for all you budding YouTubers out there that are like, I want to do this, I want to do that. There is no quick answer for YouTube. It is about time and enjoyment. And if you're wanting to start a YouTube channel because you just want to be like Mr. Beast, I would say to you, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yes.
Do it because you want to enjoy it. And there is no real way that you can make YouTube push it. But your audience that are listening to you are the most important thing. And whether that is 5 or 500,000.
Yep, absolutely.
Your audience is king. And that's the main thing. Yeah.
Well, you gotta follow your passion. You gotta do what makes you happy.
Yes.
And if you're not doing that, then do something that is your passion and does make you happy.
And there are some YouTubers out there that are not happy. There are some guys out there that get to 10, 12,000 subscribers and they're like, I just can't deal with this as a system with YouTube or with things that go on. And my advice is like, hey guys, just chill out, take a break, step away from it, and do it to enjoy it.
Yes.
And and we all find it difficult sometimes. It is, I find it difficult to find the time to make videos. And also you do sometimes get to the point where you're like, I've uploaded that. Why has YouTube said no? And you got to upload it again. Anyway, we won't get into that too much, but just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
So Airgun 101 also has a shop associated with it as well.
Yes. So I basically, just prior to COVID, sort of about the same time, I was involved in the chronograph project with FX. So the original barrel chronograph was part development down to me. And what happened is that Frederick came and had a conversation with me about 5 or 6 years ago, and he showed me this little gadget and said, what do you think? And I said, it's great, love it, fantastic, but I can't get it to do anything with an air gun at all. And he said, right, well, would you like a bit of a project? And I said, I was chuffed to bits. I mean, you got the owner of FX wants you to do something. So absolutely, I did something with the project. It went pretty well. I mean, let's be honest, you always get your little trip over points along the way.
Sure.
So that first chronograph was a project that I was involved in. I think I wrote the first instruction manual and did a lot of the app developments and some stuff like that. And then sort of that finished and moved on. And I thought to myself, well, hang on a minute, I've developed it. I've done all this. Why don't I sell some? And I was like, okay, so I'll just make a little website and sell some. Mm-hmm. And it went bonkers. I mean, it was just like, okay. And then I thought, well, let's try and buy a couple of other bits and pieces of things that I know are popular. And I sold those as well. And literally started in my garden shed. And over 2 years, filled the garden shed, filled the house, And then we had to get a little warehouse in our next village. And I've now got people that do Simon, who looks after our warehouse for us. He does the packing and runs everything. I've got Ben that does the website and all that, and I run the shop. We've had some staff come and go, but it's kind of like they're staff that are casual, you know, part-time workers at school and things like that. But no, we have a shop, and it part pays 101. Let's be honest, it helps towards the profits of 101. But I have a shop, and I'm not a shopkeeper, and I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. And every day again is a learning curve. And yes, so now my full-time job is without doubt Airguns. Yeah.
So it sounds like you actually have a technical pedigree. I mean, you're helping develop apps, and
it's learning. So that's all it is. It's just, so years and years and years ago,
before the stone?
Yeah, well, no, it's the wheel. Just after the wheel.
Okay, all right.
Just after the wheel.
We enter the wheel and Giles.
Yeah, and then there's me. And basically, I used to do IT support for a large hotel chain down in London. So I've always had a little bit of a technological brain behind me. And that's where I picked that up from. So, but literally every day you learn. A box arrives, you open, you learn. Sometimes you don't learn as fast as others, but you learn. And when you speak to an app developer and you're like, okay, so I want this, this, and this on the screen. And he's like, well, no, you don't understand. An app doesn't work like that. You have to do it this way, and it has to be laid out that way. And all the time that information is got to come between the phone and the device. So they tell you by telling you what you can't have. So, and you learn that way. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed that as a project, and I think it worked pretty well. And yeah, there we go. So yes, I do have a bit of a computing background. Yeah, and that helps with the website and stuff like that.
Sounds like it helps a lot with a lot of the stuff you've got going on, because most of it is very IT centric.
Yes, absolutely. The 101 platform is probably the most complex thing I've ever put together. Just because people think, well, hang on a minute, you know, that's fairly simple what you're doing. Actually, when you load that page, it pulls from 3 different places. You know, you have the coding, you have the actual video stream, you have the banners, and then you have all the map listing and stuff. So it's pulling from different places. And yeah, granted, it doesn't work super fast everywhere. You know, if you're running a VPN in the back end of Australia, yeah, I haven't got a server out there. So, but, you know, pretty much North America, UK, Europe, it works pretty well. But like I say, the learning is just, for me, it's been off the scale. And we still learn every day. The development stuff we're doing now, we're like 9 versions ahead of what anyone sees, and we still can't get it to work properly. So that's, you know, but it's just because it's so complex. Yeah.
Well, the other thing that I think Airgun 101 offers the airgunners and speaks is that you get exclusivity, or at least the early upload.
Yeah.
From a lot of creators. I know PJ Clark,
absolutely,
Wisconsin airgunner, he will upload to you guys first. So
yes,
if we as airgunners want to see it first, to understand what's going through PJ's head,
yeah,
it's a great space to be in. It's a little scary.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's a bit of a crazy Viking.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what it is we tend to get either extended uploads, like Matt Double will do an extended version. You'll get like Airgun English, and
you can't.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So when you go on there, look for extended versions. So Matt's very good like that. He'll drop us over an extra video. So it looks like the original video, but it's got bits in that YouTube won't have. PJ, fantastically organized, pings stuff over a week before. We have a special system where he can send us the content. He always does it at like 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning when I'm asleep in bed, so I don't know quite what he thinks I'm doing.
His 3 o'clock or your
my 3 o'clock. I think PJ thinks I sit there waiting for him to send me a video. But no, so well, of course I am. I'm there all the time. It's like, I'm braced now for PJ. Right, we're waiting for that video. And so we get that. And I would say that, we have other creators that do that as well. I would say you are probably more organized if you're doing that, because like, I think most YouTubers out there will admit they finish the video and ping it straight onto YouTube. But if you've got 2 or 3 stacked up, we're grateful we get an early version of them, and that is fabulous. So you can come over, look for extended versions, look for exclusives, look for stuff that hasn't been out, and if you subscribe, which is free to do, you just simply go into the mail out, and once a week you get a list of all the
Friday, I believe.
Yeah. About now, to be honest, should be.
Are you sitting here talking to me?
Yeah,
You should
because
be typing something.
No, I have a thing called a Ben, and Ben actually texted me earlier and went mail out, and I texted back and went IWA show. So it may go today, it may not. We have to proof it and whatever, but it goes out on a Friday, stroke Saturday. And if you give us an exclusive, you go right at the top, because obviously it's an exclusive and we want to tell people about it. And then we list everyone's videos down below, a few banners in there from a couple of retailers. But that's so you don't have to check us every day. We'll tell you at the end of every week, hey, this is new. This is what you want to watch. You're getting good quality information from the best content creators.
And I will tell you, as a consumer of that, I love it, because I get like the digest.
Yeah.
And I can see, okay, care about that, don't care about that, care about that. And I can go through and like in one dose.
Yes.
Get exactly what I want.
Yes.
And not be spoon-fed whatever the stupid algorithm thinks I want to see next.
Yes.
On YouTube.
Absolutely.
With Airgun 101, I get like a preview every week of here's what's going on in the airgun world.
That's it.
And you can cherry pick what you want.
Yeah.
I love
it. Oh, it is good, because it is, you've got, if there's a new gun launched, it just goes in the mail out and off it goes. And so what's happened that week. We had like SHOT Show and stuff like that. We actually couldn't keep up with the SHOT Show coverage. We just did like a combined thing towards the end. But all that sort of stuff is like, the videos are there. It's like as soon as that video goes out, it's on. Sometimes we're an hour or 2 behind just because of the time difference and people uploading and things, but it's there. You're not going to miss anything by going onto our platform. In fact, you're going to get some really good information. And what we say is that, because we do want to have people generally uploading anyway, but it's the people that have come through the industry over the years. Sure. And they're like, okay, if we're telling you that the gun will do this, you can be pretty much sure it will. And if the gun's got this problem, absolutely. If someone says, look, it will do this, but it won't do that, it goes on. There's no we're not a censorship platform. It is what it is. Yeah. And I'm grateful to everyone that tunes in and watches. Yeah, brilliant.
On behalf of all the Airgun Geeks, Giles, thank you for all you do for our community.
Well, thank you for watching.
And one thing that we try to end all of our interviews with is, do you have a message for our Airgun Geeks viewers that you would like to share? And it doesn't have to be airgun related. It can be on any topic you want, but something that you would really like to share with them that is something you feel passionate about.
Okay. Well, other than pizza?
It could be pizza. No, pizza's acceptable.
Could be pizza. All right. I think for me, I'm going to go back to when I first started shooting as a young boy. It made me smile, and I enjoyed it. And you don't need to look. Let's be honest. You can spend upwards of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a complete setup. You can do that if you want. You don't need to do that. Airguns are fun.
Yeah.
Do it safely, and always conscious of the people around you. But airguns are fun. Get out there. I don't care if you're shooting at 5 yards or 500 yards. Shoot some pellets, have some fun, and just have it make you smile. And that is it. That is it. It is a fun hobby with a fabulous community. You've only got to go to the shows and talk to people. fabulous, fabulous community. And I don't care whether you're a Daystate fan, Air Arms fan, FX fan, Steyr fan. I don't care who you are, who or where your loyalty lies. You're an air gunner.
Mhm.
And that's it. And we're all together in this.
Yep.
And that's it. There we go.
Giles, thank you very much.
So thank you very much for your time.
And I know you're running around here crazy at EWA trying to keep up your schedule, and I appreciate
Well, I'm sorry I was late.
That's okay.
I got to turn the tables on you. How are you doing? Are you enjoying it? What have you, what do you think of the show? Have you been here before?
I've never been to EWA. This is my first EWA.
Okay.
And honestly, this is the first day they let me out of the booth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I came over here to rep for GX compressors, which a lot of my YouTube content is on caring for those compressors, servicing them.
Okay.
My company, Target Forge, which is also my channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
We do a lot of videos on maintaining them, and we sell parts.
Okay.
So it's kind of been, they feed each other.
Yeah.
And I was at SHOT this year, and they said, "Hey, would you like to come to EWA?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, are you kidding?" What air gunner wouldn't want to go to EWA? I mean, this is pretty much Mecca for the air gun world. And for me, it was a really unique opportunity. I have traveled so much this winter. I started out in Michigan with David Ding at Leaders. Had a lovely time there. I ended up going to Nantong, China.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to spend some time there. I got to find out about what I saw there.
Now I'm jealous.
Yeah. I got some cool travel footage too that I'm going to share.
Yeah.
I got back from there, literally took my clothes out of my bag, washed them, put them back in, and then left for SHOT.
You know that feeling?
And then SHOT, I got there and they said, "Hey, you want to go to EWA?" I'm like, "Okay, let's go to EWA."
Yeah.
It's been a really crazy winter, but the airgun world has been so huge at accepting us. I mean, look at our sponsors now.
All those fabulous.
Yeah, we've got real names that are actually funding our podcast. So we're very proud of that.
Now you're doing a fabulous job as well. Thank you very much. I mean, it's like, to have something to, because you can listen as well as view. Do you know what I mean? And that is the thing with this now, is that you can just listen to the chat, which is
guy in America, you may know him, Mr. Rogan.
Okay, I've heard that name.
He kind of turned the world on its ear of media.
Yeah.
Where he said, "You know what? I'm just a guy who likes fights and I talk."
Yeah.
And here he's become this media icon because people trust him.
Yes.
They trust what he has to say. They know he's not NBC or CBS or BBC or any of those that are influenced. He's the real guy. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to provide that as well. We're not biased. We're giving you what we think.
No, fabulous. Yeah. And one more thing before you go, because it's a podcast that we can keep going, but we will finish. What's the best thing you like about Germany so far?
Well, I am German.
Are you really?
Yeah, my family immigrated in 1850.
Okay.
Kind of a funny story. My great-grandfather, he was the master brewmaster in his village.
Oh.
And he got hired to go to America to start the old German brewery.
Right.
Most of the town found out that he was leaving. They're like, "Oh, fuck off, man. We got to get out of here. There's not going to be any beer." So they followed him.
Wow.
They followed him to Maryland, to Western Maryland in the mountains. Yeah. And that's where he started the old German brewery, which would have been the longest continuously operated brewery in America had it not been for Prohibition.
Okay.
They were one of the ones that didn't survive that decision.
Okay.
And anyway, that's so this is very much, I feel very home in Germany. Yeah. When I lived in England, I used to hang around with diesel motorcycle guys.
Okay. Yeah.
All built these diesel motorcycles. Yeah. Like, "Hey, you got to go to Germany with us." I'm like, "All right." So I got to camp on a farm in Ham, Germany with my motorcycle. Wow. My old German motorcycle. So Germany for me is
right home. Yeah. So do you have any family left here at all, or?
I'm sure genetically the answer to that is yes.
Yeah.
The other half of my bloodline is Viking. So
Oh.
Vikings went around and pretty much spread DNA to
everywhere. They went everywhere.
Yeah,
literally.
So there's family for me anywhere I go, I think. But
it's kind of the same with all of us a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, no, fabulous. Well, there we go. That's it. I got many more questions, but at some point
on that bombshell,
we've both got things to do.
Thank you, Giles.
Nice to see you. Thanks for your time.
You were a fun interview, sir. Well, Pat, what did you think of that interview?
Well, first off, I want to say that Giles was a key part in my air gunning upbringing. I still watch his show, but I started watching him like 12 years ago, laughing my butt off, but learning at the same time. Yep. And to meet him in person last year at RMAC and have a good conversation with him, being a little starstruck. And then we get to have him on the podcast and learn where Airgun 101 started and why it started, and two, where he's taking it to. And, the hidden stuff that, he was very transparent about the costs and how things ran and all the dedication. And that's a key word here is dedication that he puts into it along with his team. And it just started like accidentally. He starts a shop to start selling merch and stuff and all sorts of things, but it's only for Europe. So those that want to buy stuff from him here in the States, unfortunately, you can't. But I thought that was very interesting on where he's taking it.
Yeah. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that, that whole interview happened really because of PJ Clark. PJ Clark was the one that planted the seed and got the two of us connected. And, PJ was working in the US. He didn't go to EWA. So he's working the back channels and directing the two of us at EWA to get together and do that recording. And what's funny, the intro to that interview is a line that PJ wanted us to use. And it's from a really obscure movie called Under the Rainbow. It's a 1981 film with Chevy Chase that I don't think ever really got much notoriety, but PJ really loves that line from that movie. The pearl is in the river. And what's really funny about that is I was going to put the visual from the film overlaid in my interview right after I said that line, until I saw who was speaking that line. And then I'm like, I pumped the brakes and I'm like, I don't want to go there. So if you want to learn more about that, do put it in your Google box and do a search on The Pearl is in the River and play that clip from the original movie Under the Rainbow. Kind of a weird movie, honestly, PJ, if I'm going to be honest. But it was a heck of a lot of fun, and Giles was quite a giving person to go along with that whole joke.
Yes, it was. He picked right up on it, and I'm like, "What is he talking about?" Okay, code word, but now I'm going to have to go look for this movie.
Yeah,
and watch it.
I don't know that you want to watch the whole movie, but you can. You can. You certainly can. But Sounds it's definitely good. a bit of an obscure film.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I was rather impressed with all of it and learning the knowledge, and just I'm excited for all the stuff that you discovered there and the people you've talked to. But the fact that Giles sat down with us, greatly appreciated. One of these days when we go to Europe again, maybe we go for a cheeseburger or some pizza. Because I know he knows some good places to go eat over there. So
I get the impression that pizza would make Giles really happy.
I agree. So,
on that topic, though, I do want to add to please keep Giles in your thoughts and your prayers. He's working through some health issues. I'm not going to get into them, but understand that he's got some procedures coming up that are not exactly considered low risk. So do keep him in your thoughts and send some positive vibes his way. He's fine. It's just they're artifacts of becoming an older male in this world, and he needs to get on top of them and get them resolved. I just want him to know that the airgun industry and the airgun faithful are behind him 100%.
Agree. Most definitely. We're one big family trying to take care of each other.
Yep.
All right. Well, I want to remind everyone that there is an Airgun Geeks Facebook page. Just go to Facebook and look up the Airgun Geeks group. Please answer the questions. It's how I keep the bots out and people who are just trying to sell stuff that aren't supposed to be selling stuff on Facebook.
And those bots are getting a lot smarter.
Yes. And I appreciate everyone that helps me keep that page going. I think we're right around 15 or 1,600 people in there from all over the world. And if you're using Apple Podcast, please give us 5 stars if you absolutely like what you hear, and leave a comment. It really helps with the algorithm and getting the podcast out. And Apple likes to see that too, especially us.
And the same goes if you're watching this on YouTube. The same thing goes with YouTube. Hit that thumbs up, hit subscribe, and also leave a comment. That kind of activity drives the algorithm that we battle quite heavily all the time. It gives us a lot more weight to get our voice heard on those avenues as well.
Correct. And make sure you tell people about us, because we've been growing fast. So we know people have been doing that. If you like things about the podcast, put them in the comments. If things you don't like or topics you're like, hey, I'd like to know about this or whatever, we have no problem responding. You can always email us, and we can discuss it and see what we can do to help you out, even if it's not necessarily talked about on the podcast itself. We are air gunners also, and we can always show you a direction or get you connected with someone to help you out with your problem. So
very true. And if you have an event coming up, remember we can help you cover that as well.
Correct. And just a quick shout out, since you said event, I just want to mention that the Northeast Airgun Challenge is going on. So if you're in the area, just show up, have some fun, and then make sure you check out RMAC, which is coming up in June. Registration should be opening soon, and as we all know, that sells out quickly.
I believe the PA Cup was also announced this week as well.
That's right. The PA Cup was also announced, but registration hasn't opened for that, and that's in September. I don't remember when, but we're working on that. I will say, to help with all of this craziness, Bonnie is secretly behind the scenes building a fancy website. Yes, thank God. It's taken some time, but due to the gracious sponsoring of our sponsors, we now have the funds to do a nice website, and it should be launching here soon. We're working out some details and some final parts, and it's going to get exciting. So, but I think that's about it for this week, unless you got something extra, Bill.
Nope. I've given it all I can this week, I think.
Very good. So I want to thank everyone for taking time to watch Bill and I and support the podcast and all that. And remember good things, positive light. The world is a crazy place, and we thank you for taking time to listen to us. And like always, stay geeky.